Aquarius horoscope, when your ruling planets go retrograde. What to expect in the second half of 2025 based on Thai astrology as interpreted by the Paiyakorn Welcome Aquarius. If you were born between February 15th and March 14th, the second half of 2025 may be a period of deep reflection, transformation, and realignment. With Saturn, your traditional ruling planet, and Jupiter, the planet of growth and fortune, both entering retrograde phases, your journey ahead will be filled with both challenges and extraordinary breakthroughs. Let's take a closer look at how these celestial shifts affect your identity, finances, relationships, and long-term vision from now through 2026 and even into early 2027. The Saturn retrograde influence. Rebuilding the self. Let's start with Saturn. This mighty planet has been in retrograde since August 2023 and will remain so until February 2025. For Aquarius natives, Saturn's movement directly affects your sense of identity, responsibility, and how you structure your life. If you've been feeling like life is pressing you to redefine your role, rebuild your foundations, or rethink how you present yourself to the world, this influence explains why. Expect this period to continue to bring up questions around self-worth, financial autonomy, and the need to work behind the scenes. Perhaps you're working on a long-term project in secret, research, writing, a business plan, or dealing with unresolved personal matters. All of this is about preparing you for a significant personal evolution. Real-life example. Consider AM, an Aquarius working quietly on a documentary while balancing freelance gigs. Though she hasn't shared it publicly, her late nights and solo efforts are part of a long-term vision. By early 2025, her work is finally recognized, and she feels reborn. Jupiter's quick moves and sudden opportunities. Jupiter, the planet of expansion, will be moving rapidly across key sectors in your chart. From finances to romance, this planet is opening doors, but only if you're willing to let go of rigid plans. Between now and February 2026, Aquarians are likely to experience windfalls, sudden travel, new romances, or academic breakthroughs, but they'll come with conditions. Think of Jupiter as offering you an investment. Great rewards, but with attached responsibilities. You may need to manage debt, care for children or relatives, or commit to an intensive course of study. These conditions will challenge your flexibility, but could ultimately provide the structure for your future success. Theme 1. Financial shifts and big lessons. The second half of 2025 brings mixed financial signals. On one hand, some Aquarians may receive large sums through inheritance, investment returns, or overseas business. On the other, expenses may rise unexpectedly, especially in relation to family, children, or property. This is a time to be extra cautious with financial agreements. Unclear contracts, hidden fees, or emotionally driven spending could undermine gains. Make sure everything is transparent and consider consulting a legal or financial advisor before major decisions. Illustrative example. Ton, an Aquarius who invested in crypto assets, finally sees a surge in value, but he also receives a massive tax bill tied to earlier trades. Though excited about the gain, he realizes he must now deal with new financial responsibilities and deadlines. Theme 2. Relationships under review. From August 2023 through early 2026, love and close connections come under the microscope. Saturn's retrograde can make you rethink long-term partnerships, while Jupiter's fast moves may spark brief but intense connections. Some Aquarians might find themselves falling hard and fast for someone, especially during travel, online exchanges, or academic events. Yet the depth of these relationships will depend on your willingness to let go of old patterns and embrace emotional authenticity. Long-term relationships may also experience friction if they're built on imbalance or avoidance. This is your chance to rebuild with honesty and shared vision. Illustrative example. Fawn, in a long-term partnership, begins to question whether her relationship is growing with her. A solo trip abroad sparks a realization that leads to honest conversations and eventually a stronger bond. Theme 3. career evolution, and secret projects, many Aquarians will be called to work in solitude or pursue projects that require discretion. This may involve working in research, education, or behind the scenes in a corporate role. You may not receive public recognition just yet, but the seeds planted now will flourish by 2026. Stay focused and avoid distraction. Retrograde Saturn will reward those who stay the course and remain humble. If you're thinking of launching something new, especially in digital media, nonprofit work, or technology, start small and be strategic. Illustrative example: when a software engineer begins coding an app in his free time. While others are chasing flashy opportunities, he builds quietly. By the end of 2025, he's approached by a startup interested in buying the rights. Theme 4. Identity realignment and inner healing. Lastly, the most powerful changes may be internal. The retrograde movement of Saturn and the fast pace of Jupiter can feel like opposing energies, one asking you to slow down and reflect, the other urging you to leap forward. This tension will push you to re-examine your core identity. You may feel exhausted, uncertain, or unusually emotional. That's okay. This is a sacred pause, a time to recalibrate. Deep healing is possible, especially through spiritual practice, therapy, or reconnecting with nature. Illustrative example: Mai, typically a high-performing executive, begins to experience burnout. She joins a weekend meditation retreat and realizes how much she's been neglecting her emotional self. This clarity shifts her life trajectory in surprising and positive ways. Final thoughts. Aquarius, it's time to transform. The second half of 2025 will challenge your old ways and reward your evolution. Financial shifts, new relationship dynamics, hidden work, and personal realignment all signal that a new version of you is being born. Trust the process. Embrace support where it's offered. Say yes to growth, even when it's uncomfortable. And remember, the retrograde doesn't mean backward, it means reconsider. With clarity, courage, and compassion, you'll emerge not just wiser, but more fully yourself.